Good afternoon, Chair Kelly, members of the board. Non-public irrigation season is over and public irrigation season will draw to a close in less than a week. This year's been particularly challenging from a water supply perspective. New Mexico had its driest winter on record last winter, and combined with a monsoon season that was spotty at best, the Middle Valley was in prior and paramount only operations for over 40 days this year, and we saw over 40 miles of river channel drying this year. So it was very challenging water supply from water supply perspective. But looking towards the off season, Colorado did end its irrigation season at the end of October. They had planned to continue to deliver through the third week in November, but after the large rain events Colorado received last month, the Rio Grande Compact delivery obligation to New Mexico increased. And Colorado manages its entire system to be compact neutral. So they ended the irrigation season earlier to ensure that they were meeting their compact obligation for this year. And since they've shut off, flow over the state line has increased significantly. They've gone from 200 CFS to about 500 CFS today. And this is the hydrograph from the Rio Grande near Lobatos, which is the gauge on the Rio Grande on the New Mexico-Colorado state line. Moving down to Abiquiu, on the Rio Chama, there's about 26,000 acre feet of unreleased prior and paramount water in Abiquiu Reservoir that must make it to Elephant Butte by the end of the calendar year if it's going to count for New Mexico's Rio Grande Compact deliveries this year. I expect that releases from Abiquiu will begin around the week of Thanksgiving, and water managers have been coordinating about how this water should be released. The things on our minds have been making sure that it's released at a rate where the water is being conveyed efficiently, but also we're trying to capitalize on the opportunity to even test the channel conditions below Abiquiu. Because in June 2024, a high intensity rain event brought a sediment plug into the Rio Chama downstream of Abiquiu Dam. And the state spent the following months having contractors dredge the Rio Chama to restore the channel capacity to what they believe is about 1,000 CFS. Since that work was done, there's not been an opportunity for releases from Abiquiu to be high enough to test the channel at that flow. And so we're going to try and use this water to see if we can test the channel capacity. Releases will gradually increase. Initially, I think to 500 CFS, and we'll do and the Corps will be monitoring conditions in the channel to hopefully get up to at least 1,000 CFS. As we move down, today releases from Abiquiu are about 60 CFS. And that has translated to about 900 CFS or 950 CFS flowing into the Middle Valley this morning. And as the water from Abiquiu is released, that flow into the Middle Valley will increase. So people should anticipate seeing higher flows through the from the end of November to the middle of December as this water is being moved to Elephant Butte. Conditions are expected to remain warm and dry this week until this weekend. I think there's an opportunity, or the temperature is supposed to be quite a bit lower this month, or on Saturday and Sunday, and also there's pretty good chances from storms this weekend. So hopefully we'll see some snow accumulation this weekend. Fingers crossed. But the National Weather Service's seasonal outlook shows that New Mexico is likely to experience above average temperatures and below average precipitation through January. There are mild La Nina conditions present, which is quite similar to the La Nina conditions we saw last year. La Nina conditions have been strongly correlated with warm and dry winters in the American Southwest. But again, that's not always true. So I will encourage everyone to continue praying for snow. And I think that's all I have today.
Thank you.